I told you, motherfuckers. What did you just watch? I only speak the facts.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terence Bud Crawford.
A smaller, older warrior from 2 divisions below, not just any ghost. A man who was constantly informed that he was too tiny, to the extent that he was overcommitting himself. The world anticipated a valiant effort, possibly even a tight battle. Instead, they received a public demolition, a calculated display that silenced the crowd, and the full exposure of a boxing great. The way Terence Crawford defeated Canelo Alvarez isn't the only question. How he made it appear so simple is the true question. The fight had been over for rounds when the final bell rung. Just a formality. The scorecards validated what had just been witnessed by everybody in Allegiant Stadium. It was decided unanimously, and Terence Bud Crawford won handily. However, this was no easy victory. This was a step up. Crawford shattered the preconceived notions about what was feasible in contemporary boxing at that precise period. He accomplished the unthinkable by becoming the undisputed world champion in a 3rd weight class, making him the first male fighter to do it during the 4-belt era. Starting at junior welterweight, moving up to welterweight, and then landing at super middleweight. He didn't simply walk into the lion's den. He entered, subdued the lion, and then left while donning its crown. The outcome will be remembered in history books, but those who witnessed it will remember the icy efficiency and the methodical, emotionless manner in which a master dismantled a machine of destruction until nothing was left.
Zab, you called it. You said Bell was gonna pull it off, and he did that.
Easy work. He almost got the 11-round stoppage.
Yeah.
I told y'all he is a monster.
Yeah.
Listen, man, Canelo's a good fighter, man.
Yeah.
But he made the fight look normal, guys.
Yeah.
He made it look normal. Canelo left out of face with the cherry red face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but didn't have a mark on him.
Comparable to Floyd's. That was impressive on its own. I've different performances, but it's up there.
There's nobody that's ever done what Bud just done like to Canelo.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
He stepped a little more to Canelo than Floyd, right?
Nobody's ever hit Canelo like that before, ever.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Where's Canelo at, man? That was a tough loss, I would imagine.
Canelo's still great, man. Listen, man. He got to just go back to the drawing board, put it all back together, and just take another shot at it.
Yeah. Is he? Where's he at prime-wise, man? Is he right there? Is he behind?
He's having fun, man.
Bud jumped up 2 weight divisions.
He's having fun. Canelo's in a great position.
Yeah.
He's having fun. Just keep going on. Just keep going at it.
What's next to Terence?
Go home, kiss on your babies, love on your family, and get back to it later on.
Some people are saying maybe Bivol at 75. Is that too far?
Yeah, that's probably too big.
Yeah.
Clean cut performance from Terence, no rematch needed, or
that's giving up too much.
Yeah.
Giving up too much as a human being. Period.
Do you think you should retire then, Terence? Go out on this night?
Hell no.
No?
We don't retire, man. We don't retire out. We die out.
clean cut performance from Terence Crawford, no rematch needed, or would you, it was so good.
I think this, if it's gonna be a rematch, give Bud the whatever reported 150 million and give Canelo the 50 million.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, appreciate you, Zab. Thank you.
Lennox, what did you think?
Why are you calling me Canelo, bro?
Lennox, how'd you see it? Lennox, what did you think, sir?
I thought it was a great fight. It was a great fight. Canelo really was trying, couldn't get to him. He looked a bit frustrated, but it was a great fight all around. Both guys looked good. Crawford an all-time great, Lennox. Crawford was great.
I see. How'd you see it?
Easy work for Crawford. Easy work. People can do these type of things, and Crawford is special, and he did it.
Champ, what you making the frustration? We saw in the 8th round, it looked like Canelo Alvarez almost wanted to walk off at one point.
Yeah, I mean, he was frustrated, and it is frustrating to try and fight a guy, and you want to fight, but this guy's moving well, and Crawford was moving too well.
What's next for Canelo?
All the day.
You must go back 13 months to comprehend how this startling outcome could have occurred. This altercation didn't happen overnight. They hunted it. Nearing his 37th birthday, Terence Crawford had recently emerged victorious from the most intense battle of his professional life against Israel Madrimov. He chose to aim for an insane target rather than a simple victory. Canelo Alvarez was everything he desired. He made a plea to Turki Al-Sheikh, the largest sponsor of the sport. Al-Sheikh was understandably dubious. However, the weight? He inquired. He offered Crawford additional enormous paychecks and fair battles against young, unbeaten boxers weighing 154 pounds, such as Jiren Boots or Virgil Ortiz Jr. for Crawford, Andis. Those weren't just rivals. They served as diversions. He said bluntly, Boots isn't a mega fight. A mega fight is not Virgil Ortiz. He understood that it was reasonable to beat them. He yearned for the one battle he was not meant to prevail in. Legacy, not simply another salary, was at stake here. He felt ignored by promoters and shunned by fighters for years. Canelo was more than simply a rival. His white whale was him. The last task that would bring him the enduring respect he had aimed for during his professional life. With a direct gaze, he told Al-Sheikh, "That's the only fight I want." Crawford wasn't solely depending on his skills. He was relying on a flaw in Canelo's most recent rule that he had observed. A defect that anyone observing can see. He had spent years studying Canelo, going to his fights as a hunter watching its prey rather than as a fan. He noticed a concerning trend as he observed Canelo's resounding victories over opponents like Edgar Berlanga, John Ryder, and Gerald Charlo. After sensing Canelo's strength, these opponents would withdraw into themselves. A feverish need to hear the final bell took the place of their goal. Crawford said it plainly. He didn't fight for victory. He merely struggled to stay alive. Going the distance with a legend was a success in and of itself for them. Instead of the crown, they were there for the pay. Crawford witnessed a monarch who had become comfortable, a champion who had not confronted an adversary with the assurance and conviction that they could defeat him. Bud's whole plan was based on this heartbreaking reality. His purpose was not survival. He was there to secure a decisive victory. The script was altered as soon as the first bell rung. Fight fans were accustomed to Crawford's cautious, deliberate starts for years. Before launching his attack gradually, he would spend the first few rounds gathering information and examining every move made by his opponent. However, there was no time for such when facing Canelo. He was aware that any close round would go to the home fighter in a professional Canelo arena over the weekend of Mexican independence. He therefore threw aside his own playbook. He emerged quick, forceful, and determined. He took charge of the ring right away and gave Canelo a scathing, commanding remark that broke his rhythm before he could set it. He prevented Canelo from breathing. Crawford either pounded the bigger man with combinations or used deft agility to spin out of range whenever he attempted to position his feet to fire his trademark power smashes. He gave the feared puncher a slow, predictable appearance. By asserting rounds and demonstrating his dominance, he set the tone not only for Canelo, but also for the judges. A real display of how superior battle intelligence can neutralize and deconstruct raw might. It was a tactical masterpiece.
Devin, your thoughts? Your thoughts, Devin?
What do you want me to say? You beat him easy.
Upset of a lifetime?
Nah, it wasn't an upset. The people that really know boxing knew that it was a good fight.
Yeah.
It depended on what kind of fight that Bud fought. And he fought the fight that he needed to fight to win. Is that how you expect
You
it
want
to
to see
go?
a rematch, Devin, or you think it was pretty clean?
I know it's a lot of money in the rematch, but I want Bud to retire. He accomplished everything in boxing already. Made a lot of money. He's gonna go spend time with his family and have some fun.
What's next for Canelo?
I don't know.
The digital world was swiftly affected by the shock that occurred within the stadium. The decision was immediate and severe. "I actually believe Crawford may be the best fighter of all time," tweeted Ryan Garcia, another boxing prodigy, to his millions of fans. The sports landscape echoed this view. Karl Anthony Towns, the NBA star, referred to it as a masterclass by Crawford and maintained that he had to be mentioned in any discussion of the greats. DeMardi, Rosen, and John Morant were only able to tweet one word: buddy. Everyone was praising him, acknowledging a performance that went beyond boxing. From Mr. Beast and Mark Wahlberg to Mike Tyson and Charlize Theron, the A-list celebs seated ringside did more than simply watch a boxing battle. They witnessed an artist produce his masterpiece on the biggest stage, establishing a legacy that was without dispute. Devin Haney, a fellow pound-for-pound star, however, offered a distinct and more terrifying viewpoint among the worldwide chorus of shock and awe.
All right, Steven, what's your reaction to his victory? Terence Crawford was sensational. What's your reaction?
I'm taking the win by decision coming in this fight. Watching Canelo, seeing his career, expected he wasn't going to get knocked out, especially by the smaller man. But did Crawford have enough power and boxing skill to keep Canelo off of him to some degree? For the most part, that answer was yes. But then he stepped in there and he exchanged back and forth on several occasions and survived and prospered. And I got to give credit where credit is due. I picked him to win by decision, but I never expected. I expected the boxing superiority. What I didn't expect was for him to stand there and exchange and survive. And he did that on several occasions, and that's why Crawford deserves so much credit.
Spectacular from
Thanks,
round
Lloyd.
one.
You know, I always.
Hey, you see me wink at you?
I said,
I pulled one of your moves.
I think the camera.
I see you, champ. Yeah.
Known for his boxing intelligence, he made a surprising observation. He wasn't surprised by the outcome. He really said that Crawford won handily, and that, in his opinion, it was never a huge upset. But what he said next shocked the boxing world. Haney recommended Bud's retirement. Haney stated, "He has accomplished everything in the sport," suggesting that Crawford has nothing more to prove. Was this a deliberate remark from a possible future rival? Or was it an expression of profound admiration and recognition that Crawford had attained the pinnacle of the sport? It was nearly as surprising as the victory itself to consider that a boxer could provide his best performance of his career, change the course of history, and then just walk away. This was not an upset in the end. It was the outcome of a lifetime endeavor carried out by a brilliant strategist who saw what others did not. Terence Crawford didn't simply approach and bide his time. He rose to a whole new plane of excellence. He pursued his white whale, met his gaze, and demonstrated that even the most intimidating physical advantages can be overcome by talent, cunning, and unwavering resolve. He solidified his reputation as one of the greatest fighters to have put on gloves, in addition to being the best of his generation. We came away from the evening with a new, unchallenged champion and a previous icon whose future is now in doubt. However, it also raises one last query for us. Did we just witness the greatest outstanding tactical triumph in the history of contemporary boxing? And has Canelo's legendary reign come to an end now that he is so vastly outclassed?